The full moon hung heavy above the Silvercrest Pack's courtyard, casting a pale glow over the assembled wolves. Every pair of eyes was locked on her, her heart hammered in her chest, though she kept her chin high. Tonight was supposed to be the night the moon goddess's blessing was announced, the night her mate, her destiny, was revealed. Her pulse quickened when the Alpha stepped forward, the man she had secretly loved since they were children. His towering frame radiated dominance, his midnight hair tousled by the wind, his silver eyes cold as steel. The bond snapped into place between them, surging through her veins like lightning. She felt it. The pull, the recognition, the undeniable truth. Her knees nearly buckled with relief and joy. But then, his lips curled into a cruel smirk. I, Damien Stormrider, Alpha of the Silvercrest Pack, his voice carried across the courtyard, deep and merciless. Reject you, Arya Blackwood, as my mate and my Luna. The words sliced through her like blades. The pack gasped, whispers spreading like wildfire. Her heart shattered. Her wolf whimpered in agony, clawing against her chest. Tears burned her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. "Why?" she whispered, barely able to breathe. Damien's eyes locked on hers, hard and unyielding. "Because you are weak. A Luna should stand beside me with power, not fragility. You don't deserve me." A Luna should stand beside me with power, not fragility. You don't deserve me. The humiliation struck deeper than claws ever could. Laughter rippled from a few wolves in the back. Others stared at her with pity. Arya's hands trembled, but her voice was steady when she forced the words out. "Then may the moon goddess curse you for scorning her gift." Gasps echoed again. Damien's jaw tightened, but he turned away as if she were nothing. Her heart screamed, her wolf howled in agony, but something inside her hardened. If he saw weakness, she would carve strength from her pain. If he thought her unworthy, she would rise higher than any Luna before. And someday, Alpha Damien Stormrider would regret the night he cast her aside. Arya's footsteps echoed against the stone path as she stumbled away from the courtyard. The celebration continued behind her, though it no longer felt like a festival of the moon goddess. To her, it was a funeral, her funeral. The bond Damien had broken still throbbed inside her chest, like a wound that would never heal. Every step felt heavier, every breath sharper. Her childhood friend, Lila, rushed after her. "Arya, wait!" she cried, grabbing her arm. "Don't listen to him. Damien, he's blind. The moon goddess doesn't make mistakes." Arya yanked free, her voice low and hoarse. "He made his choice, Lila. He made me a fool in front of the entire pack." The words burned her throat, but her pride wouldn't let her collapse. She wouldn't beg. She wouldn't plead for the love that was denied her. Behind them, the sound of Damien's laughter carried through the night as he accepted congratulations from other pack members. The cruel sound seared into Arya's memory. She clenched her fists until her nails cut her palms. Weak? Fragile? He had no idea what strength slept inside her veins. Lila's eyes shimmered with tears. "Where will you go?" "Anywhere but here."
Anywhere but here. Arya turned her gaze toward the forest that bordered Silvercrest lands. The shadows beckoned her, cold and dangerous, but somehow less cruel than the stares of her pack. The forest whispered with the voices of wolves, rogues, and things older than the packs themselves. Arya moved silently between the trees, her cloak trailing in the dirt, her heart still bleeding.
Every rejection clawed deeper. The bond, though severed, still pulsed faintly, mocking her with what could have been. She stumbled once, falling to her knees, her hands sinking into the soil. A sob finally broke free, raw and bitter. "Moon goddess, why?" she whispered to the night sky, but no answer came. Only silence, broken by the hoot of an owl. She was alone, utterly alone, until the scent reached her. Strong, masculine, wild like smoke and steel. Her wolf stirred, hackles rising. From the shadows, a figure stepped forward, broad-shouldered, dangerous, his eyes glowing amber in the dark. "Lost little wolf," he said, his voice deep, rough like gravel. "What are you doing this far from safety?" Arya's pulse quickened. Instinct screamed at her to run, but something in his gaze pinned her in place. There was danger in him, but also curiosity. "I'm not lost," she whispered, though her voice betrayed her. His lips curved into a faint smirk. "Then maybe I am." The man's presence was overwhelming. Even in the darkness, his aura pressed against her like a storm ready to break. Arya swallowed hard, rising slowly from the forest floor. Her wolf bristled inside her, uncertain whether to fight or yield. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice steadier than she felt. He stepped closer, moonlight spilling across his face, strong jaw, scar running across one brow, eyes that burned like molten amber, a predator cloaked in human skin. "Call me Chaol," he said softly. "And you are?" Arya hesitated. Every instinct screamed not to trust. But something about his gaze, it wasn't pity, it wasn't ridicule, it was recognition. "Arya," she finally said. Chaol tilted his head, studying her. "Arya Blackwood, rejected Luna." Her breath caught. "How do you know?" His smile was sharp, dangerous. "News travels fast. Silvercrest's Alpha made sure of that. He wanted the world to see his strength and your weakness." Her chest burned at the words. Weak, again, that word. But Chaol's tone held no mockery, only something darker. "Perhaps," he murmured, circling her slowly. "He doesn't realize what he has unleashed." They walked deeper into the forest. Arya didn't know why she followed him, only that she couldn't turn back. The Silvercrest pack was no longer her home. Damien's rejection had cut her loose, left her untethered. And Chaol was dangerous, yes, but there was something magnetic in his presence. He led her to a clearing where the moonlight pooled like silver fire. A campfire crackled at its center, a few weapons gleaming nearby. Rogue camp. Her body stiffened. Rogues were enemies, lawless, bloodthirsty, but Chaol moved with command, not chaos. "Sit," he said, gesturing to a flat stone. "You look like you're about to collapse." Arya wanted to protest, but exhaustion weighed her limbs. She lowered herself onto the stone, her pride barely intact. Chaol crouched before her, close enough she could see flecks of gold in his eyes. "You've been bleeding inside since the rejection," he said. "I can feel it." Her throat tightened. "It's none of your concern, perhaps, but I know the look of someone burning." His gaze flicked over her, unreadable. And fire like that either destroys or forges something stronger. A shiver ran down her spine. Why did it feel like he could see straight into her soul? Back at Silvercrest, Damien's fists slammed against the council table. "Where is she?" he demanded, his voice echoing through the chamber. The elders exchanged wary glances. Alpha, she left the grounds. No one has seen her since the ritual. Damien's wolf growled inside him, restless. It shouldn't matter. He had rejected her, cast her aside, freed himself from weakness. So why did his chest ache every time he thought of her walking away? One of his betas cleared his throat. There are whispers she's been seen with. Rogues. Damien's silver eyes flashed, fury twisting his features. Rogues? The word dripped venom. If she dares ally with them, she becomes a threat. But even as he spoke, a darker thought clawed at him. What if the rogues recognized her worth before he did? Arya dreamed of fire. She stood in a battlefield, her hands dripping with blood, wolves bowing to her. Her heart pounded with savage power, her voice echoing like thunder. Alpha, she woke gasping. Kael crouched beside her, watching with sharp eyes. "You dream loud," he said quietly. Arya sat up, trembling. "What do you mean?" He tilted his head. "Your wolf isn't weak, she's chained. But I heard her tonight. She's howling for freedom." Her pulse thundered. She'd always felt her wolf was different, quieter, restrained. But Kael's words struck a chord deep inside her. "What are you?" she whispered. Kael's smile was faint. "Dangerous, someone who knows that you were never meant to kneel, only to rise." Her breath caught. The forest seemed to lean closer. The night charged with something more than destiny. And for the first time since her rejection, hope stirred inside her chest, twisted, dangerous, but alive. The fire crackled in the clearing, throwing sparks into the night sky. Arya sat across from Kael, every muscle tense. Around them, shadows shifted, rogues watching silently, their yellow eyes gleaming like predators in the dark. She was outnumbered, outmatched, alone, and yet she didn't feel afraid. Kael leaned forward, resting his forearms on his knees. "You know why rogues survive, Arya? Because we've lost everything. Home, pack, family. And when there's nothing left to take from you, you become impossible to break." Arya held his gaze, steady despite the storm inside her. "I didn't choose to lose mine." Kael's mouth curved in something that wasn't quite a smile. "No, but fate chose it for you." The word fate made her flinch. Fate had led her to Damien. Fate had humiliated her. Fate had left her bleeding. Kael studied her reaction carefully, as if weighing her soul. "Your alpha was a fool to reject you. I saw the way you stood in the courtyard, back straight, head high. That is not weakness. That is fire hidden beneath ash." Her chest tightened. Was he mocking her? Testing her? Or did he truly see her? Before she could reply, a sharp howl echoed in the distance. The rogues stiffened, their hands inching toward weapons. Kael rose slowly, his aura shifting from casual to deadly. "Silvercrest Patrol," he murmured. "They're looking for you." Arya's heart stuttered. Damien. If he found her here with rogues, it wouldn't just be rejection, it would be treason. Kael's eyes glowed brighter, fierce. "Decide, Arya. Do you want to crawl back and beg? Or do you want to stay and rise?" The forest went silent, waiting for her answer. Damien moved through the forest with his beta, Marcus, and 3 warriors. His silver eyes cut through the night, his wolf restless beneath his skin. "Her scent is close," Marcus said, crouching to the earth. "But there's another, rogues." Damien's jaw clenched. He could feel it her. Even severed, The bond whispered faintly to him, mocking his pride. He had told himself he didn't care, that she was weak, that his rejection was final. So, why did his chest ache with every step closer? "Find her," he ordered, his voice cold, though his wolf's growl betrayed him. When the patrol split, Damien pressed forward alone, and then he saw her in the clearing. Beside a rogue, his wolf roared inside him, a violent, possessive sound that nearly tore from his throat. Arya, and she wasn't cowering, she wasn't broken, she was standing tall, eyes locked on the rogue, as if weighing a choice that would decide her fate. Damien's heart pounded, fury and something darker twisting together. "She's mine," his wolf snarled. But his pride whispered back, "You rejected her." Arya felt Damien's presence before she saw him. The air shifted, thick and charged, her wolf reacting violently. Her chest ached, the severed bond burning like salt in a wound. She turned her head. Silver eyes glowed from the shadows. Damien. Her heart clenched, but she forced her chin up, refusing to let him see her falter. He stepped into the clearing, aura crashing against Chaol's in a silent war of dominance. "Arya," Damien said, his voice a low growl. "Step away from him." The command in his tone was sharp enough to cut steel. Once she might have obeyed without thought, but now her blood burned with defiance. Chaol smirked, standing between them like a wall. "Funny," he drawled. "Didn't you reject her, Alpha? You don't get to command what you threw away." Damien's growl shook the trees. His wolf pushed forward, desperate, furious. "She is mine." Arya's throat tightened, her chest torn between the agony of the bond and the sting of betrayal. "No," she said, her voice steady, though her heart quaked. "You made sure I wasn't." The clearing went silent, and for the first time, Damien Stormrider, the ruthless Alpha, looked shaken. The clearing vibrated with tension. On one side stood Damien, silver eyes blazing with fury, his aura heavy enough to make the lesser rogues snarl and retreat. On the other side, Chaol stood tall, calm, but deadly, his amber eyes burning with defiance. And in the center, Arya. Her pulse thundered in her ears. Her heart ached with the cruel memory of rejection. Yet something deeper kept her spine straight. She was no longer just the broken girl left behind in the courtyard. She was the storm waiting to rise. Damien's wolf pushed against his skin, his voice breaking like thunder. "Arya, come, now." His tone wasn't a request, it was a command, dripping with authority. Once, it would have bent her will, but Chaol shifted closer, his presence like fire against her cold fear. "She doesn't belong to you anymore," Chaol said evenly. "You gave her up. You can't have what you threw away." The pack bond ache seared through her chest. Her wolf whimpered, pulled toward Damien, even as her heart raged. "Don't speak for her," Damien snarled, stepping forward. Chaol mirrored him, the two men almost nose to nose, the clearing trembling under the clash of two dominant wolves. Arya's breath came fast, her mind caught between them. Damien, her fated mate, cruel and cold, but still bound to her soul.